The secret conversation begins. Something unexpected happened recently in your soulmate's life. It wasn't a text message, a dream, or a coincidence. It was a private family conversation, one that somehow became all about you. Your soulmate had been acting differently lately. They smiled more often, seemed calmer than before, and spoke about the future with a kind of excitement that their family hadn't seen in a very long time. Naturally, everyone began asking questions. "What's making you so happy these days?" one family member asked. Your soulmate smiled but didn't answer immediately. They weren't sure whether to reveal the truth. After all, speaking about someone so special isn't always easy when your feelings run deep. Eventually, they took a deep breath and said, "There's someone very important in my life." The entire room became quiet. Their mother looked at them with curiosity. Their father put down his cup of tea and listened carefully. Even their siblings immediately became interested in hearing more. "Who are they?" someone asked. Your soulmate began talking about you, not just your appearance or the things you do, but the person you truly are. They spoke about your kindness, your strength during difficult times, your dreams, and the beautiful qualities that make you unique. For the first time, their family saw a side of your soulmate that they had never seen before. The way they spoke about you wasn't casual admiration. It was something much deeper. One family member quietly smiled and said, "I've never heard you speak about anyone like this before." Another added, "You sound serious." Your soulmate simply nodded. As the conversation continued, they shared how much you've inspired them. They explained how meeting you has encouraged them to become a better version of themselves. You've motivated them to work harder, think more positively, and believe in a brighter future. Their family noticed something important. Your soulmate wasn't talking about temporary feelings or infatuation. They were talking about respect, admiration, and emotional connection. Then came a question that surprised everyone. "Can you imagine spending your future with this person?" their mother asked gently. Without hesitation, your soulmate answered, "Yes." The room became silent. No one expected such confidence in their response. Their family could see that these feelings were genuine and meaningful. Later that evening, after everyone finished dinner, the conversation continued privately. Family members began discussing what kind of person you might be and whether they would someday have the opportunity to meet you. Of course, some questions naturally arose. Would you make each other happy? Would your values align? Could the relationship grow into something lasting and meaningful? These weren't judgments against you. They were simply the concerns of people who love your soulmate deeply and want the very best for them. One family member expressed concern about whether relationships can truly withstand life's challenges. Another wondered if both of you share similar goals for the future. What happened next surprised everyone. Your soulmate stood up for you with complete confidence. They said, "No one is perfect. I'm not looking for perfection, and neither are they. What matters most to me is their heart, their character, and the peace they bring into my life." Those words touched everyone present. Their grandmother smiled warmly and said something that no one in the room would forget. Sometimes, the people meant for us arrive quietly. We don't realize how important they are until we notice how much they've changed our lives. The entire family reflected upon her words. Over the following days, your soulmate's family began paying closer attention to the positive changes they've seen in them. They noticed increased confidence, emotional maturity, and genuine happiness. Your soulmate laughs more often now. They speak more kindly about themselves and others. They have become more hopeful about what lies ahead. And according to them, much of that change began when you entered their life. Eventually, someone asked a question that completely changed the tone of the conversation. If this person is truly as wonderful as you describe them, why haven't we met them yet? Your soulmate smiled and replied, because I want everything to happen naturally and at the right time. That answer earned the respect of everyone in the room. Their family realized that your soulmate isn't rushing anything. They value building something real. Something based on honesty, trust, and mutual understanding. As the conversation came to an end, something beautiful happened. Instead of expressing doubt or hesitation, their family made an unexpected decision. They decided that if you bring genuine happiness into the life of someone they love, then they want to keep an open heart and support whatever future unfolds naturally. They didn't decide whether you belong in their family. They decided that you deserve the chance to be known for who you truly are. And perhaps that's the most surprising part of all. Somewhere, without even realizing it, your name became part of an important family conversation filled with curiosity, warmth, and hope for the future. Little do you know, this is only the beginning of a story that may become much bigger than either of you ever imagined. The conversation about you didn't end that night. In fact, it had only just begun. Over the next few days, your soulmate's family found themselves becoming increasingly curious about the person who had brought so much happiness into their loved one's life. They could see the change in your soulmate, their confidence, their peaceful smile, and the way they spoke about the future with excitement. One evening, while sitting together at home, their mother gently asked, "What makes this person so different from everyone else you've known?" Your soulmate smiled before answering. "They understand me in ways I never expected," they said. "They encourage me when I'm discouraged, and they inspire me to become a better person. I feel like I can be myself around them." Those words immediately caught everyone's attention. Their father asked another question. "Do they treat people kindly?" Without hesitation, your soulmate replied, "That's one of the things I admire most about them. Their kindness isn't something they turn on when it's convenient. It's simply who they are." The family members exchanged smiles. Character mattered greatly to them, and hearing such heartfelt praise made them even more interested in learning about you. Soon, the questions became more personal, not in a judgmental way, but in a caring one. What are your dreams? What kind of future do you hope to build? What makes you laugh? What are the values that guide your life? Your soulmate answered every question honestly. They spoke about your strengths and even acknowledged that, like everyone else, you have imperfections. Yet they explained that your imperfections are part of what makes you human and relatable. One family member remarked, it sounds like you've accepted this person for who they truly are." Your soulmate smiled and replied, "That's what real love should be." That simple statement left a lasting impression on everyone present. Later that evening, their grandmother shared a story from her own life. She spoke about how meaningful relationships are built on respect, patience, and mutual support rather than unrealistic expectations. She then said something beautiful. "Don't choose someone simply because they make you happy today. Choose someone who inspires you to become better every day." Your soulmate quietly nodded because those words perfectly described how they felt about you. As the days passed, something unexpected happened. Family members began imagining what it would be like to welcome someone with your qualities into family gatherings and celebrations. Their younger sibling joked, "If they're really as amazing as you say, we might all end up liking them more than you." Everyone laughed, including your soulmate. The atmosphere surrounding the conversation had completely changed. Initially, there had been curiosity and cautious questions. Now there was genuine excitement and optimism. Still, one important concern remained. Their father asked, "Relationships aren't always easy. Are both of you prepared to support one another during difficult times?" Your soulmate answered thoughtfully. "I don't expect life to be perfect," they said. "I simply know that when I think about facing life's challenges, this is the person I want beside me." That answer spoke volumes. Their family realized that your soulmate wasn't simply talking about romance. They were talking about partnership, commitment, and building something meaningful together. After hearing this, their mother made a surprising suggestion. "When the time feels right," she said warmly, "we would love the opportunity to know this person better." Your soulmate was deeply moved by those words. They had spent so much time worrying about whether their family would understand their feelings that they never imagined hearing such openness and acceptance. For the first time, they allowed themselves to imagine introducing you to the people who mean so much to them. They imagined family dinners filled with laughter. They imagined celebrating important milestones together. They imagined building traditions and creating memories that would last a lifetime. That night, before going to bed, your soulmate reflected upon everything that had happened. They felt grateful, not only for their family's support but also for the positive influence you've had on their life. They realized that loving someone isn't only about how that person makes you feel. It's also about how they encourage you to grow, dream bigger, and become the best version of yourself. Without even knowing it, you've already made a meaningful impression on people who have never met you simply through the happiness you've brought into someone's life. And deep down, your soulmate's family has begun to believe that perhaps you are part of something beautiful that is only beginning to unfold. But the biggest surprise has yet to come. During their next family gathering, someone will make a decision regarding your future that no one expected, a decision that could change everything. Days passed after that heartfelt family conversation, but something unusual began happening in your soulmate's home. Your name kept coming up in discussions, not because of gossip or concern, but because everyone was curious about the person who had brought such positive changes into their loved one's life. One Sunday afternoon, the family gathered together once again. What started as an ordinary conversation quickly turned into another discussion about you. Their mother noticed that your soulmate seemed happier than ever before. They were smiling more, speaking more positively about their future, and approaching life with renewed confidence. "I've been thinking about what we talked about the other day," she said softly. "This person must be incredibly special if they've had such a beautiful impact on your life." Your soulmate smiled warmly and replied, "They truly are." Their father added, "You know, happiness isn't something that can be hidden for very long. We've watched you grow emotionally over the past few months, and it's impossible not to notice." Everyone in the room agreed. Your soulmate's younger sibling laughed and said, "Honestly, I feel like I already know this person because of how often you talk about them." The room filled with laughter, but beneath the jokes was something genuine: acceptance. Then came a question that no one expected. Their grandmother asked quietly, "If this person walked through our front door tomorrow, would you be proud to introduce them as someone you love?" Without even taking a moment to think, your soulmate answered, "Absolutely." There was no hesitation in their voice. That answer touched everyone deeply because it revealed something important. Your soulmate wasn't uncertain about their feelings. They weren't imagining temporary emotions or making impulsive decisions. They saw you as someone they would proudly stand beside. After hearing their answer, the family members exchanged thoughtful glances. Then something surprising happened. Their mother spoke first. "I think we've made our decision," she said with a smile. Your soulmate looked confused. "What decision?" they asked. She continued, "We've decided that if this relationship continues to grow in a healthy and meaningful way, we will welcome the opportunity to get to know this person with open hearts." For a moment, your soulmate couldn't believe what they were hearing. Their father nodded in agreement. "Relationships are never about finding perfect people," he said. "They're about finding two people who genuinely bring out the best in one another. From everything you've shared, this person seems to do exactly that." Your soulmate felt emotional hearing those words. For so long, they had wondered whether the people closest to them would understand their feelings. Instead of criticism or hesitation, they found support and encouragement. Their grandmother smiled gently before saying something that would remain in everyone's hearts. Families don't simply gain new members. They gain new stories, new memories, and new reasons to celebrate life. Perhaps this person is meant to become one of those blessings. The atmosphere in the room felt different after that. Your soulmate began imagining things they had never allowed themselves to imagine before. Introducing you during family celebrations, sharing joyful moments together, and building a future filled with love and mutual respect. Later that evening, while reflecting on the conversation, your soulmate realized something extraordinary. Their family had not simply accepted the idea of you. They had accepted the possibility of you becoming an important part of their future. Of course, they understood that relationships require time, communication, and patience. No one was rushing anything or making unrealistic expectations. Instead, they were choosing to remain open-minded and supportive. Meanwhile, something else happened that surprised your soulmate even more. Their younger sibling pulled them aside and said, "Can I tell you something?" "Of course," your soulmate replied. "I've never seen you this happy before," they admitted. Whoever this person is, don't let fear stop you from giving this relationship a real chance. Those simple words meant more than anyone realized. Sometimes, the people closest to us notice our happiness before we fully recognize it ourselves. That night, your soulmate lay awake thinking about you. They thought about the conversations their family had shared. They thought about the future they secretly hoped to build someday. Most importantly, they felt grateful knowing that the people they love are willing to support the person who has brought so much joy into their life. Without realizing it, you have already touched hearts you've never met. Your kindness, your character, and the positive influence you've had on someone special have created ripples far beyond what you could ever imagine. And while you may not know it yet, your soulmate's family has quietly begun hoping that one day, they will have the chance to thank you personally for bringing so much happiness into their loved one's world. But there is still one secret your soulmate hasn't told you. Someone in their family has made an emotional promise regarding you, one that will leave your soulmate completely speechless when they hear it. After the family's heartfelt decision to remain open-hearted about your place in your soulmate's future, something even more beautiful began to unfold. The conversations about you became less about curiosity and more about hope. Your soulmate couldn't stop thinking about everything that had been said. For years, they had imagined how difficult it might be to introduce someone important to their family. They worried about questions, expectations, and whether the people they loved would understand their feelings. Instead, they found kindness. One evening, while helping prepare dinner, your soulmate's mother quietly approached them and asked, "Can I tell you something honestly?" "Of course," they replied. She smiled warmly and said, "I don't know this person yet, but I already know one thing. Anyone who brings peace, confidence, and happiness into your life deserves to be treated with kindness and respect." Those words touched your soulmate deeply. Then she made a promise that completely surprised them. "If the day comes when we meet this person," she said, "I promise that I will welcome them without judgment. I want them to feel comfortable, appreciated, and accepted for who they are." Your soulmate felt emotional hearing those words. They had never expected their family to embrace the possibility of you with such warmth. Later that evening, their father joined the conversation. "When we care about someone," he explained, "we naturally want to protect them. But sometimes protecting someone also means trusting their heart and supporting their choices." He paused before continuing. "You've shown us through your actions that this relationship matters deeply to you. That's enough for us to keep our hearts open." Those words meant everything to your soulmate. Over the next few days, family members began sharing their thoughts openly. One sibling admitted they were excited about eventually hearing your stories firsthand. Another joked that they were already preparing difficult questions for you, but promised they would ask them with a smile. Laughter filled the room once again. Then came one of the most emotional moments of all. Your soulmate's grandmother invited them to sit beside her. Looking at them kindly, she said, "Love should never make you feel smaller. The right person inspires you to grow, dream, and become more yourself, not less. From everything I've seen, that's exactly what's happening in your life. She held their hand and continued. If this person truly values your heart and your happiness, then I pray that both of you are blessed with a beautiful future together. Your soulmate was speechless. For the first time, they realized that their family wasn't simply accepting the idea of you, they were quietly praying for your happiness as well. That realization changed everything. Later that night, after everyone had gone to sleep, your soulmate reflected on the emotional journey of the past few weeks. They thought about how often people fear introducing love into their family lives because of uncertainty or misunderstanding. Instead, your presence, even from a distance, had inspired meaningful conversations about kindness, commitment, and the importance of supporting the people we love. Your soulmate smiled while imagining what it might feel like someday to introduce you properly. Would you be nervous? Would everyone laugh and share stories over dinner? Would you realize that these people had spent so much time hoping for your happiness long before meeting you? The answers remain unknown for now, but one thing has become increasingly clear. Your soulmate's family has made a promise, not only to support your soulmate's happiness but also to treat you with the same compassion and respect they offer one another. They have decided that if you become part of their story, you will never have to earn your worth through perfection. They simply hope that you will continue being exactly who you are.